Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merchakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. I rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing this truth and sincerity throughout for what you do. We love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to y'all. It's your brother Dawa Dodd from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the Savior, he is the deliverer, he saves, he delivers, all right? If you're watching this now, you're a so-called black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, then you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. You would not find black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible. So you need to know who you are according to the Bible. It's important to know who you are because a certain people in the Bible was given the promise of the kingdom, glory, the covenants, and salvation. That's why it's important, all right? Now, if you don't look like a so-called black, Native American, or Latino, right, but you feel like this is the truth, and it resonates with your spirit, there's a possibility you could be a Hebrew Israelite and receive salvation. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what color your skin is. It only matters that your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had his name later changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is a prince of the power. Last chapter, we watched how, what happened with King David after he committed adultery. All right, he fasted. He wept. All right, his child that he had with Bathsheba was put to death. He fell sick, and but then after that, King David, removed himself from the ground, and he started to eat again. But yeah, man, that's what happened. Nathan the prophet had came to him and told him, and he spoke to him in a parable, and he showed King David his wickedness, man, with wise words. That's why we have to use this time to apply to our lives, man. The characteristics of our forefathers, man. Inquire of the Lord, and fast and pray, and we got the Passover coming up, So we need to make sure that we are locked in and observing our high holy days and observing, examining ourselves. By the way, all right. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1. The subtitle reads Amnon and Tamar. It said, and it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man. And you remember, basically deceitful, man. It says, Shimei, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man. I mean, we know what that word means, but let's just get it for further edification. Chacham, wise, skillful, wise, shrewd, prudent. Now, these are good, Salaki. These are really good traits. However, well, it says subtle, so not subtle. Okay, well, still, let's read on. It says, and he said unto him, why art thou being this king's son, lean from day to day? Yeah, why are you looking like this, man? You the man around here, bro. Right? Your father is, you come from the most royal seed, man. It says, wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. Okay, so yeah, this man was being. Now we know the story, we know this account, but this man was being extremely subtle, or subtle, and because you see it says wise, right? But we know the you know the spirit that was there that day was a serpent to be subtle. This is 2 Samuel 13:6. Yeah, so let's go to Genesis. All right. Yeah, see that same word there, chakam. Chakam. Oh shit, see it's a different word. Okay. Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd. See, this is why it's good to get the room. Oh wait, no, hold on, because this is Hebrew. A room. All right, cool. So let's go back and get that. It was chakam, but that was Hebrew, right? So because it's in Second Samuel. Skillfully. So in one it was deceitful. In this case it's deceitful as well. So two different words here. All right, verse 6, 2 Samuel 13:6, it says, so Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress his meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. It says, and Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, Salakia. And verse 10 it says, and Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber, and Amnon her brother, to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. You see, so that's why, that word could come there. It means subtle, wise, right? It means to be wise. But that nigga was being deceitful, man. You tell this man to deceive his father, number one, but then the king on top of that. Or the king and then his father on top of that. And to do something wicked. Like, nigga, you supposed to give that man counsel. That's your your best friend. So you're supposed to give him good counsel. And that's why it's good to have certain men around you, not yes men. Because that yes men shit spirit, that shit is evil. You see? The men of the Lord, we're not yes men, man. We gotta tell bros exactly how it is and let them know, but no, despite their feelings. Because the information that you can give a brother can get you or him hurt. You see? That's how you're supposed to inquire of the Lord, man. Really, But you seek counsel, you seek wise counsel, man, and tell you what to do with that demonic ass spirit, such as incest. Right? Verse 10 it says, and Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber. Come lie with me, my sister. All right, verse 12. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. And whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. It says, then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone. Yeah, because now you done finally did what you had to do. That you got that post-nut clarity, which is goddamn disgusting. But it says, and she said unto him, there is no cause, this evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him, and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of diverse colors upon her, for which such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled. Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her. Yeah, so they wore certain clothes that let you know that she was a virgin. But then, you mix it. Now they're red and probably maybe a little dirty, disheveled and whatnot. But it's a beautiful white garment. Now you don't, now it's that beautiful white garment. It's not like that no more. Now, she bled on herself. Yeah, she was a virgin. She bled on the garments. I can't think too damn deep about it, man. That's just simple enough. They wore certain clothes to let you know that they were virgins. And once they were, that virginity was taken, the blood was spilled on the garments. It says, and Tamar put ashes on her head and rent her garment of diverse colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head and went on crying. This man took her, man. He RAP'd her, man. It said, and Absalom, her brother, said unto her, hath Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister. He is thy brother. Regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. But when King David heard of all these things, he was very wroth. And Absalom spake unto his brother Amnon, neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Amnon, because he had forced his sister Tamar. And it came to pass after 2 full years that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baal Hazor, which is beside Ephraim, and Absalom invited all the king's sons. Now you're supposed to, you're supposed to be able to trust your brothers. That's not something that normally happens. So, because of this, the type of thing, women were always, guarded. You always had your either your uncle, or your brother, your older brother, or your father, or if your father wasn't around, your uncles, but you always had men protecting you, multiple men. There was always multiple men with you, or at least one man, so that you wouldn't get taken like that. But that would be your uncle, your brother, or your father. But you see wicked ish like this, you got fathers, uncles, and brothers that would take the woman, and that, like, it's a rare occasion. It's not like this is something women had to be wary of. But, it's like you being Amnon, you supposed to be there to protect your brother, your sister, and you did some freaky ass ish like that, man. Let me finish up here because the baby's crying. It says, and it came to pass after 2, Yeah, he invited all the king's sons. Absalom avenges Tamar. All right, it says, and Absalom came to the king and said, behold, now thy servant hath sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant. And the king of Absalom, and the king said to Absalom, nay, my son, let us not all now go, lest we be chargeable unto thee. And he pressed him, howbeit he would not go. He blessed him. Then said Absalom, if not, I pray thee, let my brother Amnon go with us. And the king said unto him, why should he go with thee? But Absalom pressed him that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him. Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, mark ye now, when Amnon's heart is merry with wine, and when I say unto you, smite Amnon, then kill him. Fear not, have not I commanded you? Be courageous and valiant and be valiant. And the servants of Absalom did unto Amnon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man gat him up upon his mule and fled. And it came to pass, while they were in the way, that tidings came to David, saying, Absalom hath slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left. Then the king arose and tore his garment and lay on the earth, and all his servants stood by with their clothes rent. But this is not true, right? It says, and Jonadab, the son of Shimea, David's brother, answered, said, let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's sons, for Amnon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this hath been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar. Now therefore let not my lord the king take the thing to his heart to think that all the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead. But Absalom fled, and the young man that kept the watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hillside behind him. And Jonadab said unto the king, behold, the king's son come, as thy servant said, so it is. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of speaking, that behold, the king's sons came and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king also and all the servants wept very sore. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, the son of Ammihud, king of Jeshur, and David mourned for his son every day. So Absalom fled and went to Jeshur, and was there 3 years. And the soul of King David longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead. Yeah, so it was a misunderstanding, but, the man didn't inquire after the Lord, This is all, for prophecy's sake, but it was a misunderstanding. Like King David, hey, look, man, he's like, hey, man, you do what needed to be done, The wicked thing is that in today's society, if you were to do some it's like that, you would have to be on the run. Well, Absalom probably was just on, he was thinking about, hey, man, I slain the king's son, not thinking, like, the king is going to be happy, because, he shouldn't have done that shit, man, But Lord Willie's edified, man. We just reading, that was a long chapter, but we're just reading, man, and, getting the full context breakdowns of, what's going on in our forefathers' lives during the time, and we're going to keep doing that, all right? We are in the time of prophecy. There's beautiful prophecies popping off right now, so Lord willing, we can crack some of those, prophecies later. But, we still got to know, about this, the whole journey of, every jot and every tittle of this book, man. So we need to get it all, man. So let's get it all. Continue to do that. Lord willing is edified. I want to end it off by giving praise, glory, and honor to all. Praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh, Shai, Bashim, Hakadash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, the great most that rule well. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, and shalom.